Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie, and today I'm going to be sharing Ice Cream Nails' new Fantasyland collection. So this is my first time trying Ice Cream Nails. They were super kind enough to send over their latest collection, and I was really excited to try them out because they just have the cutest little bottles, and their polishes always looked super pretty. I definitely have some thoughts on these though, but I will share those at the end. For now, let's get into the swatches. Actually, first, I wanted to show you the packaging that these polishes come in because they are just so freaking cute. I love the colors and designs on these little boxes so much. The first polish in the collection is Firefly, and this is an orange tinted jelly base with iridescent flakies that mainly shift from orange to red and maybe some pink in there. Overall, it's very warm and fiery. And as you can see here on the first coat, it is very sheer. So it definitely can pass as a topper, which I will be showing a little bit later. But of course, I am going to be building them up on their own. I'm going to be doing 3 coats. And on the second coat here, you can see that the orange base color is starting to come through a bit, but you can very obviously see all of my nail line. There are a lot of flakies in here, but it's just not really enough to cover that up, especially if you aren't using a milky or blurring base coat. But again, it does build up a little bit more when you do a third coat. You definitely get more of that orangey kind of color, but it still is really sheer. So I wanted to show this in 1 coat over white and black just to show you how that looks. Again, over white, you can see a little hint of that orange base color. It almost makes it look like a pastel kind of flaky, and over black gives like total spooky vibes. The next shade is 24 Hour Sunshine, which is a light yellow jelly tinted base with these golden yellow iridescent flakies that also shift to green and blue and maybe even purple in extreme angles. And initially when I first saw the lineup, I figured this was going to be my least favorite. And in a shocking turn of events, I was actually really pleasantly surprised with how well this one built up. It definitely was still very sheer on the first coat, similar to Firefly, but I don't know, I feel like the flakies in this one are just so much more glowy and apparent, where they almost have like a metallic kind of feel to them, but they're still very much iridescent flakies. And I found that the base color on this one was a bit more pigmented, especially in comparison to some other shades in the collection, which again was just very surprising because I figured this was going to be the sheerest one and not really the most flattering. I still don't know how much I love it on me, but it does build up nicely, especially on 3 coats. And here it is in 1 coat over white and black. I don't really love how it looks over white, but it is beautiful over black. I was really surprised by how much I love these golden flakies. So the next shade is Magic Forest, and this is a subtle green jelly tinted base with iridescent flakies that shift from gold to orange and pink. And this one was another super sheer one. Like, they were not joking when they said it is a subtle green tinted base. Even on 2 coats, I feel like it just was not really picking up that well. It could totally be because my nails are stained and it's just not really a flattering look, but I don't know, I was just kind of underwhelmed at how this built up on 3 coats, and it was kind of disappointing because it looked so magical in the bottle. I just really wish that green base was coming through a lot more, and I love the flaky mix in contrast to the base. It was just such a cool combination. And this one also had a really beautiful gold to green shift in indirect light too, so that definitely was nice, but it just was a little too sheer for me. And I feel like you can tell just how sheer it is because here it is in 1 coat over white and black, and I feel like over white there's barely a hint of green. So I would say this is one of the sheerest from the collection, but the flakies are still gorgeous. The next shade is Fairy Fountain, and this is a magical blue subtle jelly tinted base with iridescent flakies that shift from gold to green to blue and purple in extreme angles. I was so excited to try this one because it just gave me instant mermaid vibes, even Pisces vibes. It is just so cute, especially in the bottle. And on the nail, I would say that it looked okay, maybe the most similar to Firefly, where even though it was, again, very sheer on the first coat, you do get that noticeable blue color, and it starts to build up more on the second and third coat, but it still is very sheer, where you just see a lot of nail line, even though there are a ton of flakies. I think because they are iridescent, they just look very ghostly in certain angles, so it just doesn't really obscure your nail line like other flakies might. But I definitely did still enjoy this one. It was probably one of my favorites from this collection because it's just so fun and mermaidy and very pigmented compared to the others. Here it is in one coat over white and black, and you can see over white that blue base is definitely there, so it kind of gives it that pastel sky blue color, but I really love how these blue flakies glow over black. Next up we have Candy Castle, and this is a light purple jelly tinted base with this rainbow mix of iridescent flakies that shift from pink to orange to gold and green and blue. Like, you really do get a full rainbow spectrum with this one. Head on, I would say that the colors are more on the fiery side, where it's the pink and orange and yellow, and then you see the cooler color shift in more indirect lighting. It is just so pretty, and this one had a really nice buildable base as well. I think it's also the most flattering because of that purple base color. It just counteracts some of my staining. So even though it's not super pigmented, this definitely feels a bit more in line with like other jelly flaky polishes that I really love. And I am definitely such a sucker for that color shift in indirect lighting. It is just so magical. It's totally giving me all of those ethereal fairy vibes that I love. And the name is so cute too. So here it is in one coat over white and black. You definitely get a small hint of purple over white, but I still think it looks really nice. Like, this is the one shade that I think I prefer over white instead of black. And rounding out the collection, we have Marshmallow Lake, which is this super light pink jelly tinted base that's packed with these iridescent flakies that shift from pink to purple and blue, but also shift to yellow in extreme lighting, and it is just so magical. I would say it's kind of similar to Candy Castle in that way, but yeah, this one was definitely another very sheer one where it just kind of looks like a flaky topper. You don't really see that light pink base color, which I kind of was expecting would happen, and so I was a little let down by it because it just looks so freaking cute in the bottle. But yeah, again, even though I love sheers, there's just a little too much nail line for me with these polishes specifically. I think I would be more interested in trying these over similar base colors instead of just on their own. Like this pink over Cirque's Rosewater Jelly would probably be really cute and give me more of that like pink base color that I want. But yeah, it still has a really beautiful flaky mix, and here it is in one coat again over white and black. I love how pink the flakies look over black. It has a really cool color shift, but they look super opalescent over white, so I just kind of prefer that. So I wanted to do a little collage of these polishes over white and black just because the iridescent flakies really transform depending on the base colors, even if they do have the same flaky mix, so it's really cool to see. And hopefully you can also see just how sheer Magic Forest and Marshmallow Lake were in comparison to the others. But here's a closer look at the collection lineup. It is again super cute with the rainbow lineup of these jelly flakies. As expected, my favorites are the last three polishes, but I still was really impressed with how much I ended up liking the yellow shade because I really thought that was going to be my least favorite. So I'd love to know which one was yours. So getting into comparisons, I immediately thought of Cirque Colors Brightside when I was swatching Firefly. It's another orange tinted base with these iridescent flakies that pretty much have that same pink to orange to yellow shift. So even though they might seem like dupes in the bottle or just on paper by their descriptions, they are definitely very different once you apply them on the nail. This is one coat of each, and you can already see how much color there is in Cirque's Brightside. And on two coats, it definitely covers up a lot more of that nail line, so it's a little bit squishy, while Firefly still kind of looks like a topper. So similar, but not dupes. And then for Marshmallow Lake, I was immediately reminded of Cirque's glitter glue from the MXM Tune collection, which you might remember I was also kind of disappointed by because it is this really beautiful candy crystal pink base color with these iridescent flakies, but it just ended up being super sheer. So these are a little bit more similar, I would say, in terms of their sheer base colors. I guess I would say that Marshmallow Lake is a bit on the cooler side, like there's a bit more of a warmer pink color to glitter glitter glue, but there is also a difference in their Flakies, where Marshmallow Lake is a bit more purple and pink head on, but then glitter glue has a lot of yellow. So again, these are similar but not dupes. So that wraps up my swatches and a few comparisons that I had for Ice Cream Nails Fantasyland collection. So as always, I would love to know what your thoughts are on this release, because I'm kind of torn. Like, if you know me and you're familiar with my channel, you know that I love these magical iridescent flakies in these like super cute rainbow jelly tinted bases. But after swatching them, I was just like a little let down because of how sheer they were, where they're almost too sheer for me, which I guess I didn't think could be a thing, but it's happened before. So unfortunately, I kind of felt the same about these, where I just wish that the bases were a little bit more pigmented. Like, I was genuinely surprised at how well pigmented the yellow one was, because I thought it was gonna be like the worst. And I would say better than some of the other shades, like especially the green. I was really surprised at how light that was. So I wish some of the other shades had a little bit more color to them, so that way once they were built up, they had that same candy-like finish. But for what it's worth, I thought they were really cute as toppers too, even though that's not usually how I would wear these kind of jelly flakies. Layering them over white just had that really nice wash of color, so it just looked like a pastel base with these fun flakies. And obviously over black, that's where the iridescent flakies really come to life, so they looked really cool that way. And I'm not sure how well you can tell, but right now I'm wearing Candy Castle over Polish for Days Soft Focus base coat, the lavender one. Shout out to my bestie for sending me a bottle. So for reference, I have one coat on this hand and then 2 coats of Candy Castle on this hand, and it's like a little bit darker but very similar, I would say. But I do really like how it looks over the lavender base coat, because it just gives you that coat of purple already. So I do like it, and I think I would try some of the other shades over similar jelly bases. But I do feel torn in a way where it kind of feels like I have to wear some of these as toppers, and I just wish that I could wear them on their own. But you'll have to let me know what you think of these, if you like them as is, or if you'd wear them as toppers. If you are interested in picking any of these up or the whole collection, I will have Ice Cream Nails website linked down below. But yeah, make sure to leave me any and all thoughts that you have so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!